Hello everybody, Rick Deezel here for another edition of the Rick Deezel Show exclusively on AIWFWrestling.net. Today I'm here at Vogler Studios. Now Vogler Studios is the company who AIWF has started working with. We worked with them on the movie And Cut, which is out now, and I'm sure many of you have. And we also are going to be working with Vogler Studios on several other things. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today on the Rick Deezel Show, I don't have a guest, and for obvious reasons that will become very clear to you here shortly. But I want to talk to all the wrestling fans out there about something that I'm hoping is going to be a more often occurrence here on the Rick Deezel Show. And what it is, well, let me put it to you this way. I was surfing the internet not long ago, which, everybody does, and I do, to check out what's going on in the wrestling world, and I come across this website called Ring of Glory. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ring of Glory is a website, or it's a wrestling company started by Vince Russo. Now, a lot of you know who Vince Russo is. He worked for Vince McMahon and WWF as a writer. He was with WCW just before they went down the toilet. He was with TNA. And now he started Ring of Glory. Now, what struck me about Ring of Glory, at first I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. It's a Christian-based wrestling group that a lot of you knows out there now. And there's a few of them popping up here and there. Well, Vince, he's found the Lord, and he's started himself a wrestling company. Well, his main objective when he started this was to get churches to sponsor his wrestling shows. Well, that didn't happen. But who didn't see that coming, right? Well, Vince, now Rick Deezel seen something he didn't like on your website. So what has Vince Russo done? Vince Russo, for some reason, thought he was Jimmy Swaggart or Billy Graham or somebody like that. Well, Vince, this is wrestling, buddy. Now, what you've done is wrong. Now, I got to reading on that website, and what I seen was Vince Russo, he decided that since he couldn't get no churches to sponsor his wrestling shows, that he was going to ask the fans to send him money. Now that, Vince, I'm sorry you crossed the line. That was kind of stupid of you to go and ask fans to do this. This is wrestling, Vince. It's not a church. Okay, Ned? It's okay that what you were doing was that was fine. But you crossed the line when you start telling fans, hey, the Lord wants you to send me money so I can run my wrestling shows. Well, Vince, what you need to do is you need to do like every other promoter out there. If you're going to start yourself a wrestling company, you need to get out and take the bumps and bruises just like everybody else. You need to take your chances. Don't go out and ask wrestling fans to send you money so you can run your wrestling shows. That, my friend, turns you into a freaking con artist, and you can kiss my ass. And I don't care if you like that or not, and I hope somebody sends this to Vince Russo, because you need to know that what you're doing is a con. You don't need to be asking wrestling fans to send you money so you can run your wrestling shows in the name of the Lord. Now, if I was God, I'd be coming down and tapping you on the shoulder going, hey, Vince, you need to stop this shit right now. But I just wanted to come on here from Rick Deezel to everybody out there and say, hey, go to Ring of Glory. If you approve of it, that's your business. I don't. And everybody who knows Rick Deezel knows that he speaks his mind about what he don't like. And what I don't like is Vince Russo using the name of wrestling to raise money to run wrestling shows because he's too lazy to get out and hang out a poster. He's too lazy to get out and promote them shows and take his risks just like the rest of us. Vince Russo, if you're going to be in this business, you need to be in it just like everybody else. You need to get out there and make it or break it on how well you can promote a show. Don't go out here and try to con people in the name of the Lord to send you money so you can finance your wrestling shows just because you think that you can get out here and be just like Oral Roberts or Jimmy Swaggart or Jim Baker or some of the rest of them and get people to feel like they can send you money just so you can run wrestling shows. Grow up, Vince Russo. You've been in this business long enough to know how it's done. And that's not the way to do it. If you can't do it the way everybody else gets out there and busts their ass to run these shows, independent, all the way up to Vince McMahon, if you can't do it like everybody else does, then get the hell out of our business. And don't go out and try to make people feel like it's the right thing to do to send you money to run a wrestling show. If you can't do it right, then you know what, Vince Russo? I guess the only thing you can do is go to hell. It's the Rick Deezel Show, exclusively on AIWFWrestling.net.